Hey, what happened to the lights? Is anyone out there? Hello?
Hang on, I think I found the switch.
Hey, good to see you. We had a light problem of some kind.
Lights wouldn't work. Lucky for me, I had a flashlight handy.
Good old flashlight. I've always loved flashlights. I mean, what's not to love? Stranded on a desert island, SOS with your flashlight, bored in your room at night, hello laser show. Thank you, Mr. Flashlight. Need a special effect for your ghost story? The flashlight of fear. You know, come to think of it, I'm just a flashlight kind of person.
Not because I enjoy being in the dark. Trust me, I slept with my closet light on till I was. Well, actually, I still do. And no, I'm not a big camping enthusiast either. My idea of camping is staying in a cheap motel. I guess I feel like a flashlight person, because I like to see things one step or one part at a time.
You've heard that saying, we all have, that God doesn't give us floodlights, so we can see every little thing going on in our lives at once. Instead, God gives us flashlights to show us the very next step we're supposed to take and nothing more. We've all heard that saying, right?
Well, I've heard it. That used to really annoy me anyway, because I just wished that God would go ahead and show me the whole thing. So it would all just make sense. The big picture, I would say. Show me the big picture. Let me see how it all works together. So I can trust that you know what you're doing.
Not anymore. The big picture absolutely terrifies me. The more I can see, the more I understand, the more I know, the more scary the world seems to me. And if I'm not careful, the smaller God becomes. I've learned that the more this world makes sense to me, the more I understand what's going in my life, the less God becomes. And I'm not allowing God to become as big as God really is. Because believe me, a world that I can explain is not a world God made. Because if God were to turn those floodlights on, it would completely blow my mind. No thanks, Lord. Just give me my flashlight back, hold my hand, and we'll be fine. I've decided I don't want to be you after all.
I think being a flashlight person is cool, but my problem is, I've gotten a little too good at pointing that flashlight around, especially looking at myself. I can be pretty cruel with my light, shining it on my guilt, my faults and my flaws. With my trusty flashlight, I can send a laser beam backwards across time, to find the perfect moments and memories I fell flat on my face, made a horrible decision, or failed miserably to please God. Sometimes when I look at myself with my flashlight, all I can see is ugliness and failure, surrounded by darkness and shadow.
But the good news is, that's not how God looks at me. God can handle seeing the big picture, because He's the one who made it. Look at it like this. Have you ever really looked at the mountain? I mean, really looked. Think about it. There's no reason for a mountain range to be as beautiful as it is. It's just made of rocks, bushes, weeds, and dirt. But take a few steps back and let God turn some creative light on, and that combination of rocks, bushes, weeds, and dirt becomes an amazing view arranged by a master artist. Not in a million years could I or anyone else could create such beauty and such power out of such pitiful ingredients.
You know, if God could make something beautiful with rocks and dirt, think of what God could do with us. All we have to do is put ourselves in God's hands, allow God's light to shine on us, take a step or two back and look at the big picture.
Can you believe it? That you can be beautiful. That I can be beautiful. After a while, that's just something we all stop hoping for. I mean, I know myself. Just look at all the little nasty things I can find with my flashlight. It's a long list of sins, mistakes, and bad memories. There was a time that I was pretty much convinced that I'd seen all there was of me. And none of it was any good, much less beautiful.
But until I took a good look at those mountains, I had forgotten.
I'm a creation of the master artist too.
And even though I've produced a lot of rocks, weeds, bushes and dirt,
The same God who created every rock and mountain range also created me.
God can take years of mistakes, an imperfect body, and a mind of dark thoughts,
And an unfaithful heart.
and shape it into something more than worthwhile.
Something amazing.
All I've got to do is take the flashlight and point it where it belongs,
To the path in front of me.
and let God take care of the rest.
Wow, that was a lot, just from being lost in the dark. But isn't that just like God? Take someone who is lost in the dark, shine a light on him, and do something amazing.